Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For this selection, or this time around, I'm going to use the Thelema Tarot for the tarot part. There was more information. At the bottom here is there's a website. So I think it's Los Garibo. I'm not good with pronouncing things. I feel like it's quite obvious to people who watch a lot. But there's the spelling, because if you want to find it or get more information, go ahead, go on there and check out whatever you want to check out. I don't recall last time I was on that site, so it could be some cool stuff. Supportive Oracle Cards, Spellcasting Oracle Cards by Flavia, Barbara, and Lisbeth. There are their full names if you want to check them out individually. There are some websites on the back here. She Who Is Art is what jumps out to me. And the dice are the same dice. They're metal dice. They're from Amazon. So if there's anything on that, they're from Amazon. I don't think there's a specific website on there, is there? Just Amazon, D&D. So if you want to find metal dice, I use the 20, the 4, and the 12. The 20 is for the major arcana, which obviously it's missing number 21, which would be the world, if my brain is working. And then for the minor arcana, the 12, I use from ace up to knight. So it's missing the king and queen, but still works. And the 4 I use for which element it is. And I go in the order of the zodiac. So the first, since Aries is the first, I use fire for 1, earth for 2, air for 3, and then water for 4, in case you're wondering. Okay. Thank you for checking out this part, and now on to your read. Hello, Pisces. Thank you for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Pisces? Oh, it's feeling saucy. Saucy, maybe in a good way. Somebody doesn't believe that you really like them? Somebody doesn't believe that you really like them. That's the first thing I keep getting. And maybe you're keeping it very private about how you actually feel about this person. I feel like I say this a lot. This reading pertains to whatever it needs to for you. As you keep reading, or as you keep going, you'll know whether this is a love situation, or a financial situation, or a work situation. Somebody doesn't think you like them. I keep getting that. We do have the 2 of Cups coming right up. There's a good energy here. Why do they think you don't like them? Because I keep getting this, whatever they want, whatever connection they want with you, they don't seem to think that you feel the same way. This does not have to be a romance thing. This literally could be a friendship where somebody wants to do something with you, or include you in something, or invite you to something, or they want to be invited to something you do, but they're thinking that maybe you're not really interested in them for that connection. Especially for some of you, it's a very strong business thing, in the sense of it's a coworker that doesn't want to be they just want to be connected in this realm with you more, but they're well, if I try to push it forward, it might seem creepy, and I'm not trying to be creepy. I just like being around Pisces. This can change. The door, ironically, this came in upside down. I think it's the only card that came in upside down. The energy is not flowing very well at this moment. It could flow better. I also feel like if this reading is going to be hitting, it's not about just forcing that door open. I feel like that's probably a bad idea. It's being aware that the energy is not flowing as well as it could, and just slowly kind of letting it, slowly letting things kind of go in a better direction where things open up. Because I get that there's a foundation with this person. 10 of Pentacles. That's why I feel like for a lot of you, this could be a business connection, employment, something along those lines. Could it be romance? Yes, but it doesn't have to be. But there's definitely a connection here with somebody. And there's a foundation. This is not a new person in your life. If this reading is going to be hitting, This is not a new thing. It may be somebody who's just in the background or somebody that you don't really talk to that much. It's very interesting. I'm saying this, I love to say this, and I usually get called out once in a while. I am a Pisces too, blah, 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 blah. So I know we do this, at least I do this, and then, like, if I'm flat out ignoring you, then I clearly don't like you. But, like, I feel like Pisces, we can be connected, but, like, a little bit emotionally detached. It's like, if I'm not responding to you in any shape or form, then no. Then I clearly don't like you. And I'm saying that as a Pisces. But if I'm like, we can just have that very, like, just matter-of-fact response. I don't know if I'm making sense with that. Like, oh, you're here, that's fine. Or there's been people I've worked with where I actually did think they were cool people, but I didn't see... but I would just be like, I would be hi in the morning or good morning, or just when I had to work with them, I'd be nice to them, but I didn't really ask them about their life because I didn't feel it was appropriate or for whatever reason, or I was stuck in my own head. Whoever this person is, you do like them too, is the point. But it's kind of like, I feel like this is a Pisces thing too, like just trying to be a little bit more objective about it, kind of like, unless I see something coming back or I really feel like it's necessary, I just kind of leave it where it is. If I'm not going to go anywhere with it, why push it forward? Does that make sense? So I feel like you're fairly pleasant, and you do like this person too. You actually got the King and Queen of Cups here. This is somebody you do like, which actually, ironically, if you like them strong enough, that might be why you come off a little cold, because you're being a little bit more guarded with that. You don't want to be over engaged in somebody who doesn't want that. Things are moving forward, though. The door can open. I also get that if the door doesn't open, then kind of let it be. So if it doesn't really go, if you can't slowly, naturally open it up, I would let it be. This seems to be a moment where you could start opening this door. Also, if you don't want the door to open, there's nothing wrong with that. So this might be for some of you a reading saying this is your moment to open this door if you want it. If you've decided for whatever reason you don't want to open this door, might be the door might be the time to realize it's kind of it's out of balance. But you can also close it. You can actually put it in balance and close it if you want to as well. So if that's something you've decided that's more appropriate for you, this is that moment to like put that in balance, then close it so it stays closed. Because I'm getting like you have a moment coming in where things line up very well. This should be happening when this reading hits you within the next week, I would say. Where these cards are placed, within the next week, it could go forward. It could start coming in, not really fast, but there should be like a comfortable level of communication. Mutual, comfortable, enjoyable communication. Ace of Pentacles lining up with the Two of Cups is telling me like it's a good connection, but it's not like we're jumping onto the beach running, or how did that go? We're not hitting the beach running, if I could say that right. It's more kind of like we're aware of the beach, we're talking about the beach. We might go to the beach at some point, if that makes sense. It's more like that type of kind of like it's good, we're cool, but it's like showing interest in the beach, if you will. Yeah. This is the part where you can start moving it forward. I feel like for Pisces, there's just going to be this natural moment with whoever this is. You're going to have a conversation moment where you can really bring forth energy that will make sense to you more comfortably than not. It shouldn't be really uncomfortable. It may be once in a while you kind of let a little bit slip that you're like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. But it shouldn't be like devastatingly uncomfortable. Just kind of like you say something, you're like, oh, I don't know if I should have said that. But then it kind of smooths out and you're like, oh, I guess it wasn't that bad. It's fine. Or you get information back that you weren't expecting due to something you let slip out. The energy does flow fairly easily. It reminds me of crunchy peanut butter. I don't know if that's a good analogy either, but it's kind of like it's enjoyable, but every now and then you get that crunch. This should be more of that kind of like you get that crunch, but it's not a bad thing as long as you like crunchy peanut butter. You know what I mean? It should have that like that kind of crunchy feeling to it. Okay, we're going forward to the next situation. If you decide not to, like you don't want this to move forward, that's fine. But this is kind of like this opportunity to kind of put the flow put the flow more correct, and then if you want to shut the door, that's fine. But if you want to open the door, this is the time to open it. There's an opportunity coming up to put this in alignment, and then to either open or shut the door. I would at the very least put it in alignment so the communication flows better with this person. If you know who this is, if this reading is hitting, it's more advised to like things will work better in the future, for sure. Because coming up in the future, there's this point where this person either gets closer to you or they move on. There's this moment, like I'm getting this, like the door's shut. The door is shut, and the question is, do you want to keep it shut, or do you want to open the door? There's going to be a moment of decision. Ironically, this is usually like a block card, like the lack of action. This moment is like your point to like sit back, look at the situation, and decide, do I want to open the door or do I not? The default the block will stay, and then that'll be the end of it. If this ends with things out of balance, I feel like that's not in your best interest. I just feel like that's not in your best interest. I mean, it's a general read, but take it where you need to. To open the door, there needs to be some work. It doesn't seem like it's that painful. It's just keeping communication open, acknowledging things that maybe you normally wouldn't, moving things forward. Is it the easiest to get this to really get up to speed? No, but it can be done. You can do it. It depends how much you want this to happen. Move it forward, put some work into it. And I'm going to do it again. As a Pisces, this is one of those moments where to open this door, it's like when somebody pops in your head and you think, you're thinking of them. If you have connections to them on social media, or you have a connection where you can talk to them, when you're thinking of them, go talk to them. It's not that hard, but it might be for some of you one of those things where you're like, oh, they're probably busy, or I wonder if that would be, I wonder if that would make them uncomfortable if I sent them a little question or something. It's moving beyond that, especially if you have, like, for example, me on Instagram, I send people those little reels on Instagram. I'm notorious for it. I think it's my age group that does it. But anyway, maybe just sending a very relaxed email, just like, oh, look, it was a funny animal. I thought the animal was cute, so I sent it to you, type thing. It's just like not backing down or not blocking yourself from communicating. I don't think it's going to be like, I need to remember to do. I don't think it's like that. I think it's more like when the moment comes up, not talking yourself out of doing what needs to be done, if you follow me. Which I think Pisces is notorious for. If you don't move forward, if you don't follow that, things get stuck, things get very stale, and then it feels like this connection could like fall off. It could just end. If the communication doesn't start soon, it's not going to. Whoever this is, I feel like they're gonna kind of like, it's kind of like they're going towards like a waterfall, like maybe not a bad waterfall, but like maybe some like descending rapids, if you will. If you're connected with them, you kind of take the ride with them. If you're not connected with them, they kind of go off on their own, and they're just kind of, the farther they get away, the less likely this is going to come together. This is somebody who I keep getting that they don't think you like them. Or they don't think you like them. They don't think you like them is what I keep getting. They would like to be closer to you, but they don't want to push it because they feel like, they really feel like you don't like them. So if they try to push forward, they're going to be more of an annoyance than anything else. So keep that in mind. If you do move it forward, I get that a friendship is the first thing. Even if this is a romance, it doesn't have to be. The first stage is to connect with the friendship. It makes me nervous. It makes me want to stutter a little bit for some reason. Which I don't usually do, but once in a while it just kind of happens in my older age. Not that I'm that old. The first step is going to be to cement the friendship in. From the friendship, a lot can blossom. This person really does value you. They might, when they look at you, and I feel like it might be a mutual thing, they have that soul group connection, that soul family connection, which there's videos on what that is if you need it. I would suggest looking it up. I feel like most of you are going to know what I mean by that. they have that, like, you've lived other lives together, or there's some connection where they just like you and they don't have an explanation. They couldn't put anything down on paper, like a solid reason why they like you, but they just know that they like you and they probably trust you. They have this very strong connection to you. And once they feel comfortable, I feel like this connection gets very easy and it gets very tight. I would also, before you get too deep into this, look at this person and what you think of them as an outside observer. Do you like what their life is? Do you not? Because you might get really tight with this person, and if it looks like it's kind of rough, if their life looks kind of rough, it may not be something you want to be connected with, and there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like your gut instinct will let you know if you really want to be close to that or not. Again, this is a time to either open that door and see where it goes, or shut it. But first you got to put it in balance. The communication puts it in balance, and then if you decide to let it shut, and you're at peace with that, I feel like that's fine, and I feel like everything's in balance. It puts you more in a positive, like more things can come to you a lot easier, if that makes sense. If you leave it out of balance, I just feel like it just makes everything more difficult in your life. So the advice I'm getting for this is to at least put this connection in balance, because it balances out other things in your life. If you want to shut it, that's cool. If you don't, open it. If you want to open it, that's cool. But making the active decision and putting it in balance puts a lot of other things in your life in balance for some reason. If you leave it out of balance, you leave a couple other things out of balance in your life too, and that has its repercussions. So at the very least, I would recommend whatever, if you're connecting with this and you know what this is about, or for some of you, I'm feeling you probably are watching this, but it may not be for a day or two before you kind of click into what it's about. Put that connection in balance. It puts other things in your life in balance as well. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. It's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.